Nepalese politics has continued to see bizarre incidents in the last few months. First, it was Krishna Bahadur Mahara rape allegation case, followed by the Lalita Niwas land scam, and now the corruption scandal of Communications Minister and the government spokesperson Gokul Baskota, just to name a few sensational instances. The ouster of Minister Baskota has been seen as a telling blow to the KP Sharma Oli-led government. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama, and these are the top stories of the hour. Communications Minister Gokul Baskota resigns following the leaking of audio tape discussing commission worth 700 million rupees. Baskota's ouster a telling blow to Oli government. Hindus across the country celebrating Maha Shivaratri with much fervour and fanfare today. 1 million visitors expected at the Pashupatinath temple. A judge sentences US President Donald Trump's former advisor Roger Stone to 40 months in prison, found guilty of lying to Congress, obstruction and witness tampering. And the 7th edition of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup to kick off in Australia today. Defending champions Australia to face India in the inaugural match. Let us begin with the national political updates. The ouster of Gokul Baskota, the Minister for Information and Communications and the government spokesperson, has dealt a telling blow to Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. Yesterday's resignation by Baskota following the leakage of audio tape comprising commission bargaining is not only a setback for Prime Minister Oli, but it is sure to have negative bearings on the current government. We have a report.
This is the third time since the formation of the Oli-led government that the prominent leaders of the ruling Nepal Communist Party had to step down from the post on moral grounds. The then Law Minister Sher Bahadur Tamang stepped from the post for controversial remarks on female Nepali students studying MBBS in Bangladesh. Likewise, former Speaker Krishna Bahadur Mahara resigned from the post on rape allegations. The ouster of Minister Baskota is a bitter nut to chew for the Oli government, given the fact that Premier Oli himself used to openly appreciate the outspoken and flamboyant style of Baskota, perhaps Premier Oli finding a replica of himself in Minister Baskota's audacity. The fact that Minister Baskota was using the private residence of Prime Minister Oli at Palkot instead of living in official quarter also speaks volume about the connection between the two leaders. Meanwhile, Minister Baskota's resignation has been ill-timed, coming at a time when he was quite vocal about transparency in financial transactions and defending government decisions, along with claims of clean bureaucracy. Prime Minister Oli always backed Minister Baskota, who had his roots in journalism. Baskota was elected as lawmaker in 2017 from Kabre II, which led to his appointment as State Minister for Communications. In the days that followed, he was not only promoted as the cabinet minister, but was given the post of government spokesperson as well. He was also handed over additional responsibility of Ministry of Urban Development. However, the upward curve of Baskota's political career took a nosedive on Wednesday night following the audio tape scandal, where he is heard bargaining on commission share regarding the procurement of security printing machines. With Baskota's exit, Prime Minister Oli has lost a prominent member of his cabinet and a staunch defender of the government modus operandi.
Now, the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee has directed the government not to move ahead with the process to procure the security printing machines. The committee yesterday directed the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology not to move ahead with the procurement process. The committee has issued the directive after an audio record of conversation between Minister for Communications and Information Technology Gokul Baskota and agents of Swiss company was unveiled, where Minister Baskota was bargaining for his commission for the purchase of the security printing machines. The committee had summoned the ministry's Secretary Deepak Subedi regarding the issue yesterday afternoon. At the meeting, the committee had queried Secretary Subedi regarding the reason behind rejecting the proposal of a different Swiss company offering a cheaper price and moving forward the procurement process merely on the basis of the government's decision rather than through an open tender. Secretary Subedi, however, refrained from making any response regarding the queries. The ministry had moved forward the procurement process based on the Parliament's decision on 23rd of December last year. And with that, we'll take a short break here. For more news, stay with us. Hindus across the country are celebrating Maha Shivaratri with much fervor and fanfare today. The day is considered one of the holy days in Hindu legends. Devotees chant prayers for the Hindu Lord Shiva, fast on this day and meditate on ethics and virtues of life. Devotees have been thronging Shiva shrines across the country, especially the Pashupatinath temple in the capital for prayers. The Pashupatinath temple has been decorated specially for the occasion today. According to the Pashupati Development Fund, the pilgrims that have taken up long journey to celebrate the day have been provided free residential services and food, among others. The Pashupati Development Fund has expected the arrival of around 1 million devotees for Maha Shivaratri this year. Likewise, around 5,000 security personnel have been deployed to maintain security. With that, we move on to the international update. A judge has expressed disgust at U.S. President Donald Trump's former advisor Roger Stone as she sentenced him to 40 months in prison. 67-year-old Stone was found guilty in November on 7 counts of lying to Congress, obstruction and witness tampering. The judge said Stone threatened her, but President Trump said he should be cleared. Stone is the 6th Trump aide convicted on charges linked to a Justice Department inquiry that found Russian attempts to boost Trump's 2016 campaign. Stone was found guilty of lying to the House Intelligence Committee about his attempts to contact WikiLeaks, the website that released damaging emails about Trump's 2016 Democratic election rival Hillary Clinton. U.S. intelligence officials have concluded the messages were stolen by Russian hackers. Stone will serve 2 years probation after his custodial sentence. He has also been fined $20,000 and must serve 250 hours of community service. Stone will not have to report to prison until the judge rules on pending defense appeal. And with that, we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for yet another short break. Political parties have recently been determining the geographical boundaries and centers of local governments as per their vested interests, ignoring the convenience of the local residents. In this context, we had asked the residents of Palpa districts what problems have they been facing due to the parties' tendency in this regard. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
सुविधा पनि दिन्न तिनीहरुले टाढाबाट आएको भनेर उही हिसाबले काम गर्छन् हामी टाढाकोलाई वो दिन पर्थ्यो त्यो दिन्नन् टाढा फेरि त्यहाँबाट गाडी आउन समस्या हुन्छ 2 बजे काम भइन्छ त्यहाँ 1 बजे गाडी छुट्छ
यहाँ 5 मिनेट लाग्छ गाउँपालिकामा जान अब चिरीपानीको गाउँपालिकामा जाँदाखेरि हामीलाई चाहिँ नि 7-8 घण्टा लाग्छ
जानी यो हेर्नु खर्च बाँधेर 5-6 हजार बस्ने ठाउँ छैन हामीलाई समस्या धेरै गाउँपालिकाले जो हाया
होमिनको मान्छे यहाँ गए बिहान हाम्रो दैलागाडी भएको मान्छेलाई चाहिँ हामीलाई माथागाडी पुग्न पर्या छ यो चाहिँ हामीलाई धेरै ठुलो समस्या छ
बक्चौरका मान्छे यहाँ आउने यहाँका मान्छे उता जाने यस्तो के नमिलेको रदल बदल भयो टाढा जान पर्यो यही नजिकै भए हामीलाई त्यति धाउ हिँड्न नि समस्या हुन्थेन
एक दिनमा आइदैन वहाँ बास बस्न पर्छ त्यहाँबाट जाने बित्तिकै काम बन्दैन यो समस्या त्यहाँबाट यो केटाकेटी विरुद्धलाई टाढा जान र नजिक जानमा कति अन्तर छ हजुरले विचार गर्नुस्
And time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why has the banking group failed to post significant increase despite the booming stock market recently? Your options are A, oversupply of shares, B, investors seeking short-term profit, and C, low returns. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
The 7th edition of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup kicks off in Australia today. A total of 10 teams will participate in the 17-day competition. Group A comprises of teams from Australia, India, New Zealand, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, while teams from England, South Africa, West Indies, Pakistan and Thailand are placed in Group B. The 2 top teams from each group will advance to the semi-finals. This is Thailand's debut World Cup. Defending champions Australia are considered favourites to lift the World Cup again. Australia have won the Women's World Cup the most, claiming 4 titles so far. West Indies and England have won the World Cup once each. The final will be played on 8th of March on Women's Day at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The inaugural match between hosts Australia and India will be played in Sydney today, which is scheduled to start at 1:45 p.m. Nepal time. Australia are ranked number 1 in women's cricket, while India are ranked 4th. The Australian women have lost only 2 T20 matches out of 14 matches played since last year. And moving on, Arsenal have defeated Olympiacos by a solitary goal in the first leg match of round of 32 at the Europa League. The first half of the match, held at the home ground of Greek club Olympiacos, ended in goalless draw as both the teams, despite having good chances, failed to convert. The Gunners managed to break the deadlock towards the end of the match. Alexander Lacazette scored in the 81st minute to give Arsenal the 1-0 win. This was Lacazette's 8th goal in the ongoing season. The Gunners will host Olympiacos on 27th of February for the second leg match. Meanwhile, Manchester United settled for a goalless draw with Club Brugge. In the match held at Brugge's home ground last night, United came back from a goal down to tie the match. Club Brugge first took the lead in 15th minute through Emmanuel Dennis's goal. Anthony Martial equalised for United in the 36th minute. Despite several chances, both the teams failed to score more goals and settled for the 1-1 draw in the first leg. Majority of the match saw heavy rainfall and wind. Meanwhile, United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer suggested that the quality of ball used in Europa League was not up to par. Likewise, in another match under the Europa League, Diego Jota scored a hat-trick to give Wolves a 4-0 victory over Espanyol. In the home match, Jota scored for the Wolves in the 15th, 67th and 81st minutes. Ruben Neves added a 4th goal for the Wolves in the 52nd minute to seal the first leg match 4-0. Likewise, Getafe defeated Ajax 2-0, while Inter Milan clinched a 2-0 away win against Ludogorets. And with that, at a time when a majority of the countries have intensified their preparations for the Tokyo Olympics, which takes place in 6 months' time, Nepal is yet to finalize even the disciplines. Speculations are about the participation of the 13 players in 8 different disciplines, but no concrete decision has been made so far. We have a report.
Nepal Olympic Committee has said that preparations are afoot to field 13 players for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics that is slated from the 3rd week of July 2020. The Olympic Committee has said that since the participation is difficult through qualification rounds, the process is underway for wildcard participation. The committee has already sent the name list of players for participation in karate, archery, taekwondo, shooting, weightlifting, judo, boxing, athletics and swimming. The participation of 2 swimmers, Gaurika Singh and Alex Shah, has been confirmed. Name of 1 player in athletics has also been sent. Likewise, names of 2 players each in karate, archery, shooting, weightlifting and judo have been sent to the International Olympic Committee for wildcard entry. The committee has sought wildcard participation for a player each in boxing and taekwondo. There are altogether 206 disciplines open for participation for the Tokyo Olympics. It may be recalled that Nepal had sent 7 athletes during the last edition of Rio Olympics. Meanwhile, the International Olympic Committee is yet to respond to the correspondence made by Nepal Olympic Committee.
Time now for our special segment, Showbiz. Parasite director Bong Joon-ho received a hero's welcome in South Korea following a historic win at the Oscars. Parasite became the first foreign language film to win Best Picture in the 92-year history of the Academy Awards on 9th of February. Local cinemas and TV channels in Korea have begun with a rerun of the film along with Bong's other films Snowpiercer and Memories of Murder. Meanwhile, in France, the management of French Oscars resigned en masse after weeks of controversy centered on director Roman Polanski, whose latest film, An Officer and a Spy, led nominations ahead of the 2020 awards ceremony. Feminist groups had decreed the nominations and called for a boycott of the film. Dozens of film industry personalities, including X-Men actor Omar Sy and Berenice Bejo of The Artist, had denounced the Academy's opaqueness in an open letter. Polanski launched his new film in France last year, just days after a French actress accused him of having raped her in 1975 when she was 18 years old. The French Film Academy issued a statement saying the board of directors of the Film Academy made the unanimous decision to resign to honor those who made films last year, to regain serenity and make the cinema festival a celebration. The suicide of one of Britain's most famous TV stars, Love Island host Caroline Flack, sparked a debate over the behavior of tabloid press and whether social media companies need to do more to remove toxic content. The 40-year-old was found dead in her London flat on Saturday after she committed suicide. Friends of the presenter have accused the tabloid press and social media trolls of hounding her after she was charged with assaulting her boyfriend in December, a charge she had denied. Lastly, hand sanitizers and face masks were the new must-have accessories as London Fashion Week opened on Friday in what was expected to be a subdued gathering hit by the absence of many Chinese attendees because of coronavirus. Fashionistas queued for catwalk shows sporting face masks in different shades as buyers, designers, students and social media influencers came prepared at a time of global anxiety about the virus spread. This is Sarah Sapsanama for Showbiz and Kantipur News Desk. And before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Communications Minister Gokul Baskota resigns following the leaking of audio tape discussing commission worth 700 million rupees. Baskota's ouster a telling blow to Oli government. Hindus across the country celebrating Maha Shivaratri with much fervour and fanfare today. 1 million visitors expected at the Pashupatinath temple. A judge sentences US President Donald Trump's former advisor Roger Stone to 40 months in prison, found guilty of lying to Congress, obstruction and witness tampering. And the 7th edition of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup to kick off in Australia today. Defending champions Australia to face India in the inaugural match. That's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.